we were expecting that we needed to go through a big military crossover, and we had a lot of discussions with the cabbies whether or not they could drive us into Palestine or whether or not they need to leave.
Before we move into our movie from Palestine, let's talk about some of the rumors about the country and a few practicalities that you need to have in mind before entering the country. Some people will tell you that it isn't safe to visit Palestine, but do have in mind most of the so-called experts, they only know what they heard in the news, so don't put too much into that. So to sum up the entire safety issue, is it the safest place on the planet? Well, probably not, but it's for sure not the Palestinians who need to be concerned about compromising your safety. They are the kindest and most open-minded people you will ever meet, and they will do everything possible for you to feel welcome in their country. A thing you need to have in mind is visa. For some countries or nationalities, it's required to have a visa. And depending on which website you visit, it actually is kind of difficult to figure out whether or not you need a visa or not. In our case, we decided to take the chance to enter Palestine without a visa, which created no issues at all, and we didn't even have to show our passports at the checkpoint. In Israel, we were highly recommended not to enter Palestine without an official tour operator, but you shouldn't put too many concerns into that either. We did a bit of due diligence and we figured out that some taxis has a permit to cross over the border and drive into Palestinian territories. Just make sure that it gets sorted out with your cab driver before starting the trip, because if you take a taxi without that permission, you will be dropped off at the border and then you need to walk to the control point and then find a Palestinian taxi on the other side. In our case, we drove with Mohammed, which is the Palestinian taxi driver we met in Israel, and we made a deal with him to pick us up in Palestine again after the trip, and we ended up paying him around $100 to be available for the full day. And talking about money, they don't have their own currency in Palestine, they use a mix of Jordanian dinars, Israeli shekels or US dollars. From a geographic perspective, we landed in Tel Aviv, Israel and then took the train to Jerusalem, which is about 25 minutes. From Jerusalem to Bethlehem, which is under Palestinian control, it is only a 20-minute drive by taxi, but you will need to enter the checkpoint to get to the other side of the extremely scary looking wall surrounding Palestine. No wonder the Palestinians feel they live in a prison. That wall is probably one of the most intimidating things we have ever seen.
Welcome to the everyday life in Bethlehem. Come with me.
يلا كمان شيء
يلا لا بس صورة فيديو تيك توك ما فيهاش
تيك توك
New subscribers. are standing in front of the Church of Nativity. This is the church.
Where Jesus was born, you guys.
How crazy
It
is
doesn't get
that?
more bigger than this.
No.
That is where Jesus Christ was born. How crazy is that? Oh my God.
And small disclaimer, this is the line. The most incredible part of this is one of the most holy sites in Christianity. And right across the street, we have a mosque. It's so diverse. This is awesome. Getting to Palestine, that was actually surprisingly simple. We took a taxi from Jerusalem to Bethlehem, but by doing that we need to cross the border from Israel and into Palestine. We were expecting that we needed to go through a big military crossover, and we had a lot of discussions with the cabbies whether or not they could drive us into Palestine or whether or not they need to leave us in the beginning of Palestine, and then we need to take a Palestinian taxi longer in to get to Jerusalem. But we ended up finding a lovely cab driver named Mohammed, and Mohammed is a Palestinian citizen, so he was allowed to take his taxi and drive it into Palestine, which was really awesome and easy for us. So we rented his cab for half a day, so he will be picking us up later today after lunch and then going back to Israel. And we paid him 350 shekels for half a day. Insanely cheap. I'm going to put below what that is in euro or dollar.
For Starbucks, but here it's Starb Coffee.
Just filming at the local Starbucks. Cannot emphasize enough, the Palestinian people are just the friendliest people we have ever met. Everybody is so kind, so
nice,
so helpful, so respectful, and everything is so cheap.
Very cheap.
And you can buy a rooster on the street if you need one. Oh gosh, you gotta see this.
Our time in Palestine has come to an end. Thank you for watching. See you at the new destination.